So we have one request working.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next, please.
The next one. So the next one is to create to-do items.
Yeah.
We would like to test that maybe in the browser, but we can't because
it doesn't work. Post request will not allow you to do that.
Yeah, only if we had a form. We don't have a form to fill in.
Too much,
Never mind that. So we have Postman to test. We need to change this because we are now running on port 7000 as opposed to the default.
80, yeah.
And if I send this, I get a not found. The default behavior, we haven't started working on. Let's go to IntelliJ and start to implement this new API
post request,
yeah. And it's similar to this one, the get request. So we can say app.post.
Easy enough.
The path is the same. It's items, because here in Postman it is /items.
That's what we need.
And then same deal, context.
Yeah.
To have both the request and the response.
Yeah.
And we give it a block. That's a lambda. It's a block of code with an argument.
Yeah.
And now we don't want to return something.
That's not.
We want to add something to the items. And the items, well, they are a list. So I can say items.add.
New item.
New item.
You just add in another identifier. I think 5.
Yeah, let's say 5. And the description is hello. Yeah.
I'm not. Okay. I thought that was gonna be it.
Okay.
Let's try running it.
To try to run it, it doesn't suffice to just come here to Postman and send. Okay.
No.
I'm driving this point home.
Rerun the server.
Rerun the server.
Change something. Run the damn server.
Yeah. And now if we come here and send and oops, internal server error. I didn't see that coming.
That's not right. Looks simple enough.
We totally knew this was going to happen. What is the internal server error? How do we figure this out? Well, on Postman, this is interesting. On Postman, we only see internal server error. We don't get any information.
You see status code and an internal server.
Yeah, the status is 500 instead of 200, which is okay, it happened. But this is 500 saying internal server, and we don't get much info. But that's only on the client here on Postman. On the server in IntelliJ, we get a lot more information. We get the whole stack trace of what went wrong. And in this case, it was an uncaught exception, unsupported operation. What?
You're trying to add to a list? That shouldn't be wrong, should it?
Yeah, well, what is the problem here? The problem is this immutable collections thing. When we are running this line, we are trying to add an item to the list of items.
Yes.
And we created a list of items right here using this construct list of.
Yep.
You had never heard of this construct.
No.
Yeah, it's somewhat new.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is returning a list that you cannot change.
Modified. Yep.
You can change, and this is interesting. You can change the elements in the list. So if you want to get the first item and set description or set identifier, well, that's
fine. You have a getter and a setter for that.
You have setters and getters for this guy, so it's fine. What you cannot do is change the structure of the list. So you cannot change the size of the list
or any more attributes here or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's set in stone.
The structure of the list
is.
So you cannot add items, remove items, but you can change the elements.
The items are composed of, basically. You can change what the identifier value is or what the description value is. That's all.
But that's all. But we want to add new items to the list. So we want
That's very restricted functionality.
Yeah, it's fine for some cases, but in this case, we want to be able to add items to the list.
Yes.
So there is a trick.
Yeah.
The trick is you can create an array list, for instance.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is going to be a list of items.
Yeah.
And you can create an array list out of this list.
Entire list, yes.
And now list of is still returning an immutable list.
But
then
array list is typecasting it into a mutable one.
Yes.
Something we can add to or modify.
So this array list, we can add items to, we can remove items from.
We can change. It's flexible. You can move it around.
Yes. And now let's
rerun it.
and rerun it.
And see if Postman actually gives us something back. Is the server up?
Yes, the server is running. So let's see.
Send.
And we get back, okay.
Status, yeah.
Yeah, it seems
that's
like...
what you're supposed to.
It seems like in the example we had, the body was empty. We expected to see a 201 as a status. And this is just like minutia. It's me being pedantic, because a 200 would be okay.
Okay, yeah.
But we want to be specific about what okay means in this case. It means we created.
It was created, yeah. An item was created, it's stored somewhere on the server. So we just want an indication of that.
Yep. So first we will see that this whole thing worked, and then we'll fix the status. To see that this worked,
let's go to
get items.
Yes.
And we can see that now there is a 5th item called Hello Yash.
Yeah.
With that out of the way,
now we can actually go and see, change the minute thing.
Yeah, the way to change the status is to use the context.
Yes.
There is a status method
that's it.
We can say 201.
That should be that.
I think there is also a way in Postman to say created. I think there is some other way of saying created. So 201 or created. No. So we have probably to say
the status code is fine.
I thought maybe there was some Javalin status
object. No, doesn't look like
created. No, yeah, 201 it is.
Yep.
All right.
So rerun it first.
Go to Postman to the post request and hit send. Hit send. Oh, I don't want to do that.
No, you'll be creating a duplicate item now.
That's exactly the point. It's interesting, right? So I restarted the server.
Yeah.
Let's see what get items gives us.
Oh, it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not being stored. It's a local variable. I'm not storing it anywhere. It's not in a database. It's not. I'm not fetching it from some cloud service or anything. It's never stored. It's an ephemeral object right now.
Yes. When we rerun the server, we rerun these lines.
Yes, and so you just get 4 items.
And we lose all the information we had before. That's bad. We are going to fix this later. For now, just let's notice that, Yash is not here.
Yeah.
But if we come here to create, we get a 201.
That's fine.
Excellent. And if we hit get again.
I'm back.
You are back.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's all you need to do.
What else? Well, I kind of don't like how we are hard coding
the identifier in the description.
Right
it doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right. So let's fix this.
Yeah.
The way I want to fix this is I don't want to say something explicitly here. I want to be able to say this.
Okay.
But my item class doesn't have a constructor like that. But I can generate one.
Yeah. You
generate
can
a
an empty constructor
that doesn't take any arguments.
Yeah. That's it.
And then
you can check the number of items it has already.
Interesting. Yeah, the first problem is to generate this identifier, right?
It should be unique.
It should be unique and ever increasing.
Yeah.
But the item, when it's being created, doesn't have access to the list.
Yep.
Well, this is what we would like to say. This identifier equals to a new identifier, or I'm going to say fresh identifier. And this description empty for now.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure we have to set. We can't auto-generate, we can't auto-increase every time.
Yes, there is no notion of what the default description is except for empty.
Yeah.
But we need this fresh identifier. How can we get this? Well, we could look at the list, but the list is not accessible to us.
To the item,
So here's an idea. We could have a counter.
Yeah, a static variable.
Yes, a static
in
current identifier. It's an integer.
Integer,
and it starts with 0.
Yes.
And then
you have a function called fresh identifier.
Fresh identifier, which returns
current identifier plus 1.
Plus plus.
Yeah, it'll also change. Yeah, you need it to change.
In case you don't know this syntax, this is just me being smart. You can say current identifier equal current identifier plus one, and then return the current identifier. Yep. We are not doing that in 2 lines. We are doing that in one line.
Yes, in one word.
Yeah, I should probably be a better citizen and say that these things are private.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
You can say private static.
Yeah, like technically, but.
And I think it's a good thing for us to do that, because if we don't, then people from outside could call fresh identifier and mess up with our indexing system.
Yep.
So I'm happy with this being private, and these are public.
You can restart the server now.
Yes, and
save it first.
It's saved.
Okay.
We start the server.
Can you scroll up 1 second? Okay. Yeah. So now a new item will just generate a new identifier and an empty description. So let's see if it actually works.
Before we do that, I know that this is going to generate identifier 1, which is going to clash with this one.
That's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, but let's go with it for now. So, okay, we restarted the server. Yash is going to go away. If we hit the server again, Yash is gone. But we can create a new item, and it says created. Yeah. And we can come here.
You have
identifier number 0 with
an empty description. That's exactly what you asked for.
And we can do it again and again, right? We can come here and hit this several times.
Yes.
And come here to the get items, and we see many of those ever incrementing. Perfect.
Yep.
I'm so happy with it. So let's just get rid of all of this. We don't need any spam.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm happy. I'm happy.
That's good code. I think we can just run it and show a final thing.
And since we got rid of this, we also don't need this constructor right here.
Yeah.
This is gravy. Yeah.
Just restart the server. And we can see that now get will return nothing.
The first time around?
Yes.
Empty list.
That's all you want?
Create one. List with
you
one.
Have that?
List with several.
Yeah. Yeah. And get should give you. And the identifiers are always increasing, so that's perfect.
Awesome.
That looks fine.
Looks great.
Yeah.
What is next?
Committing first.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
It is crucial. It is crucial that when you are good with something, you commit.
So let's create
new item.
Create new item. And come then here to the local changes. Commit. Create item. Now let's take a look at what we did here in this episode.
Actually,
we changed hard-coded list into a real one that is mutable now.
Yep.
We created a new request to create items. We were more clever about the accessibility of our attributes.
And we added a function to automatically increase identifiers.
You know what? This function is kind of just hanging in there. I mean, we could just have this current identifier right here.
Yeah.
Plus. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Why not? So I can make this current identifier and identifier plus come here and get rid of all this method. A lot simpler.
Yeah.
It reads nice.
Cleaner.
Save.
And that
I will try this again.
Yes.
Before I commit. Just to make sure.
That's the point. Like anything that is working, commit that only. Please don't screw people's branches.
Yeah, so empty list, create a bunch of items.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
And they are there.
Have it there.
And they are still increasing and everything. It's just working. So let's come here to version control. And now there are some changes that I have not put in the list of changes that are going to be committed. You can see here. No, it seems fine.
Yeah.
It's already selected. Create item is our description.
That's the diff, which is the difference between the two files from commit 1 to what you have right now.
Yeah. So now we have an actual list, we have a new request, we have the accessibility, we have the private current identifier, and it's ever increasing, and we get some descriptions that are empty, and this is awesome. I'm going to not only commit, but commit and push.
Okay.
All in one step.
Yeah.
Commit and push all in one step.
Yeah, you're on the branch, right?
I am on the branch.
Yes.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
It's committing to create new item.
Yeah, that's that.
Just for clarity, let's go for create new item on GitHub. It's right there. Okay. What's next?
Now, so do you want to write new requests, or do you want to first make it make the data persistent?
We can also do the front end. That would be fun.
Yes, actually, let's do that. We've been doing backend for too long.
Yeah. So on the next episode, we are going to go to uncharted territory
and write JavaScript.
We will write JavaScript. Hang on to your seats, because do you know JavaScript?
Nope.
Do you know React?
Nope.
I don't either. See you on the next one.